today it is time for another TBR, and we are doing it the same as we did last month. If you don't know how this works, but the gist is fairly straightforward. I pick a little prompt from this jar, and we will pick a book that correlates with the prompt. You know what? You get the gist. You get the gist. So without further ado and without further yapping, let's get into the video. It's time for the first prompt, which is gonna be, let us see, a book with a pink cover. Well, I don't think I have very many. I think the only one that I have is this, and I don't even think that the front is pink. Alright, so we have two books that could be considered a pink cover. You know, this one has probably the most pink because the spine is pink, but they both have some pink writing. I think, to be fair to the prompt, because this is more blue and beige than this, so I think I'm gonna have to go with None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is a mystery thriller, about two girls that share a birthday. One of them, Alex, I believe, has a podcast, and the second girl, Josie, comes onto the podcast to tell a story, but the more the story goes on, the more absurd it gets, and Josie is kind of intertwining herself into Alex's life. That is what I get from the premise in the back. I've heard really good things about this thriller. People are saying this is their favourite Lisa Jewell book, so I am very, very excited to get into this one. So that is the first book onto the TBR. Alright, so the TBR is going to go over here. I hope you can see that. If not, I'm sorry. Very sorry. I'll go through them at the end. Alright, on to the next one. Let a friend pick. I'm gonna send a picture to one of my friends, and then they are gonna be picking which book I should put on the TBR. Hi, could you pick one of these books for on my TBR? So we're gonna be waiting for a reply on that. Meanwhile, we're gonna be picking the third prompt. A romance book. Well, the only romance book on my physical TBR is this book, You Deserve Each Other, and I'm kind of excited to read this. I have a few romances on my Kobo as well, but my Kobo is empty right now, it's charging, so I can't pick from there right now, so I'm gonna have to go with this. That was a quick and easy pick. Alright, so this book is about Naomi and Nicholas. Their wedding is coming up, but they are very miserable in their relationship and they are very much sick of each other, but the person to call off the wedding bears the wedding bill, so they kind of start playing pranks of each other and trying to make each other more miserable to get the other one to call off everything. But whilst doing that, they kind of rekindle, or they kind of start to feel things that they've never felt before. Sounds very interesting. The premise sounds very fun to me, so I am very excited to see how this turned out. I've heard some good things about this. I'm not a very big romance reader, so we're gonna see if I enjoy this one. So this book, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle, it's gonna go on the TBR. We got a reply. They're saying The Alchemist. So we've got this cute tiny little book that is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I think that's how you pronounce that. And I will read you the premise of this, as I actually don't know what this book is about. The Alchemist charts the story of Santiago, a young shepherd boy in the hills of Andalusia who believes that there is more to life than his humble home and flock. One day he finds the courage to follow his heart into distant lands, spurred on by the knowledge that he is following the right path, his own. The lessons he learns along the way are life-changing. This beautiful parable not only has the power to uncover long-buried dreams, it also inspires us to reach for them and live the life we have imagined. That sounds very lovely. I'm actually kind of excited to get into this. Now, it's only 226 pages, so this is going to be a very quick read. Let's pick book number 4. The next book is a thriller. So let us see what thrillers we have here. Not that many actually. We have The Housemaid, then we have All In and Bad Blood, which is a continuation of the Natural series. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with All In because I have been thoroughly enjoying the Natural series, so I'm very excited to continue this. The Natural series follows Cassie. Cassie is a natural, which kind of means that she has a very particular skill that she's naturally really good at. For Cassie, it's profiling. She gets recruited by the FBI to solve cold cases or current cases that the FBI don't know what to do with. So she and 4 other naturals jump in to give their perspective in their respective field. Yeah, I've been loving this. I've been loving this group of friends. I think the story and the thriller aspect, the mystery aspect has been very, very good in the books that I've read so far. So All In is gonna go on the TBR for next month. Next up, I guess we're having this one because this one flew out. Random letter in the title. Okay, we're gonna do a random letter generator and then we're gonna find a book with that title. Generate random letter. A Y. Let's see. Alloy of Law has a Y, and One for My Enemy also has a Y, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's not giving me very difficult choices, but I've been really excited to continue the Mistborn series, as that has been my favourite series that I've read this year. They're all 5 stars for me, and these 4 actually are novellas, or like Mistborn Part 2. They take place after the events in the Mistborn series, but in the same world and universe. So I am so excited to dive back into this world, and this is definitely gonna go onto the TBR. On to prompt number 6. Oh, we're almost done already. Prompt number 6 is gonna be this one. Let's see what we have here. A number in the title. I don't know if I have any of those. Oh, we've got One for My Enemy that has a number. Yeah, I think that's the only one. Did the camera angle change again? Potentially. My camera keeps dying on me. This might be a sign that I need to remember to charge my camera before I film and not let it be. But we're back. I was saying, I picked One for My Enemy as the book with a number in the title, as we have 1 here. I'll read you the premise in the back. I'm very excited to read this book. So, the Antonova sisters are beautiful, cunning and ruthless, but their underground narcotics business is threatened by their long-standing adversaries, the Fedorov brothers. For 12 years, the families have maintained a fraught stalemate. Then everything is thrown into disarray. Bad blood carries them to the brink of disaster, even as a forbidden romance blossoms between 2 opposing sides. Yet the heirs still struggle for power, and internal conflict could rot each family from within. That is, if the enmity I think, between empires doesn't destroy both sides first. Hey Siri, what does enmity mean? This sounds very exciting. I'm also very excited to add a fantasy to our TBR, as there was only 1. Well, 2. Alright, never mind. But I love fantasy, so I'd also be happy with a full fantasy roster here. Alright, prompt number 7. We have a sad book. Well, look what we have here. A Little Life. I think I'm gonna put a little pass on that, as I'm not quite sure if I am in the right headspace for that book, so I'm gonna put sad book back into the jar, maybe for next time. Let's do another one. Let's see, an odd number of pages. Well, there is a book on here that I would really like to read, so I'm really hoping this has an odd number of pages, and that is Tower of Dawn. I really want to continue the Throne of Glass series, so trying not to see anything. This is an even number. Dang it. Okay. Let's see. I think maybe this book. Let's see. Oh, 365. That is odd. Okay. We're gonna be adding Tress of the Emerald Sea to the TBR. I am so excited to read this. Ever since I bought this, I've been wanting to read it, so I'm very excited to add this to the TBR. So this is more so, it's also in the Cosme, it's also written by Brandon Sanderson, but this is more so leaning towards like cozy fantasy. This follows Tress on her journey on the Emerald Sea. Let's read the back together. The only life Tress has known on our island home in an emerald green ocean has been a simple one, with the simple pleasures of collecting cups brought by sailors from faraway lands and listening to stories told by her friend Charlie. But when his father takes him on a voyage to find a bride and disaster strikes, Tress must stow away on a ship and seek the sorceress of the deadly midnight sea. Amid the spore oceans, where pirates abound, can Tress leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing a sea where a single drop of water can mean instant death. I'm very excited to add this to the TBR. So that is book number 7. And then for the final book for our September TBR, another thriller. Question now is, do I just want to finish the whole Natural series or do I want to add The Housemaid? And I think I'm going to add The Housemaid. You know, if I want to read the whole series besides everything, that should be fine. We're going to be adding The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I am excited to read this. It's meant to be such a quick book that you can read in basically one sitting, which is what I tend to do a lot of times with thrillers, because thrillers tend to not be too long and I just get so involved in the story, especially if it's a gripping story. If I put a thriller down multiple times, you know it's not a good book. It's not a good thriller for me. So I'm very excited to read this. This follows, I think she's called Millie. Her name is not on the back, but Millie moves into this house to be a live-in housemaid for Nina and her husband, but very quickly she notices things that don't sit quite right. One of the things being that her bedroom in the attic only locks from the outside. Now she uncovers some things in this household. Obviously we don't know anything because that will spoil the whole plot, but she uncovers some things that don't sit quite right with her. I'm excited to read this. It sounds very intriguing. People are also saying that because The Housemaid is now a trilogy, if I do remember correctly, people are saying that the first one is the best, so I am very, very excited to get into this and read my first Frida McFadden. So this is going straight onto the TBR, and with that we have 8 books on our TBR, so let's go through them one more time. Alright, we have The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is our thriller prompt. We have Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This is a book with an odd number of pages. We have One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. This has a number in the title. We have The Ally of Law by Brandon Sanderson because it has a Y in the title. We have All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This was, I think, also just a thriller prompt. Then we have The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which was picked by a friend. Then we have You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel, which was the romance of this month. And then we have None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which was the book with the pink cover. This concludes this TBR video. This is my TBR for September. I am very excited to read all of these books. To be honest, I don't own any books that I'm not excited to read, so all of the books in here I was going to be excited about, but I'm excited to get into these. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for sticking all the way to the end. Let me know if any of these books are also on your radar, if you've read any of them, if you enjoyed them. If you'd be so kind, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave leave a like on this video and maybe subscribe if you enjoy books and book related content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.